Hi guys, my name is Shayla. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, we talk about motherhood, we talk about pregnancy, we do things kind of eco-friendly, natural, hippie, granola, cloth diapering, breastfeeding, co-sleeping, blah, 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 positive mindset. That's like the number one thing. I actually created a positive mindset flip book. You need to get your mind back on track because I did after my first baby. This gives you prompts. What is something that my partner does that I'm grateful for? Different things just to keep your mind right. I'm also coming up with a guide. So this guide is going to help you to keep a positive mindset in motherhood and like have the motherhood that you want. Today, I'm gonna do my birth story. This is my third child. I have two girls, a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and now this little baby. He is 1 month old. Oh, this is the first video back. It's a he. I had a boy. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. When I first found out that I was having a boy, I was like, excuse me, what? I have a sister. I have 2 girls. What do I do with a boy? And then I started talking to boy moms and they were like, oh my gosh, it's like the greatest relationship in your whole life. And to me, I was thinking 3 sisters. 3 sisters, it's just like that relationship. And then I was like, oh, my relationship. I'm gonna have a son. I'm gonna have a grown son someday. And I got really excited because everybody just pumped me up about it. This pregnancy was my hardest pregnancy, having 2 other children to take care of. My sister was due 10 days before I was. Well, I had my baby like 24 hours before her. She went like a week and a day over, and I had my baby a couple days earlier. My first I had on her due date. My second I had a day after her due date. And I don't really have Braxton Hicks. Like I'll have 1. And then it's over. When I started going into labor, I was like the whole time I doubted it. I am laying with my girls, we're sleeping, and this is what I wanted. I wanted it to be in the middle of the night. So then at 2 a.m., I woke up to contractions. But are they real? And I start tracking them. I have this app, so I'm like tracking them. They're consistently every 10 minutes. At about 8 minutes, I'm like, oh, they stopped. And then I'll check the time. I'm like, oh, it's only 8 minutes. 2 minutes later, got a contraction. And so I'm like, do I wake Seth up? Do I not wake Seth up? What if they're not real? I don't know. So at 3:30, when I like made a time. I'm like, okay, if they're still happening at 3:30, I'll wake my husband up. I'm like, Seth. He's like, are you having contractions? Yeah. Did you lose your mucus plug? Yeah, I think I did. So he's like, do you like how I knew that? I was like, yes. I love how you knew that. And that was consistent with my other 2 pregnancies too. To lose the mucus plug like right at the start of birth. Or right at the start of labor. We were like, all right, let's wait a little bit longer. And I always like shower and like finish up my packing and blah, 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 blah. It is 4:30. We just called Auntie Megan, who's gonna come hang with the girls. I've been having contractions every 10 minutes since 2:15. So I don't know, like 2 hours. So I took a shower. Finished packing my hospital bag, cleaning up the house because people are gonna be here, and just generally getting all the stuff together. There's 1,000 things going through my mind though, because my sister, this will be her 41 week. She'll be 41 weeks today. So I'm wondering at what point do I text her and tell her that I'm potentially in labor. And then we got to the hospital around 5:30. Made it to the ER. I just talked to my sister. She's excited. I'm still just contracting.
Going on a trip in a magic rocket ship.
Okay. Then we get into the hospital, and I switched hospitals. Last time I went to this hospital that was phenomenal. They put essential oils on my shoulders, and they just like left me alone. Like the lights were dim. They put up like fake candles in the room, and nobody came in there. And it was just calm and peaceful and whatever. I did water labor with my first. It was during COVID, so I had to get out and push on a bed with my first. Second one, I got to deliver in the tub. This was a little bit of a different experience. When we get there, I'm like, I want the tub. And they're like, yes, we have that in your notes. I'm like, okay, great. And because I do hypnobirthing, like my contractions look like this. So much. That helps so much. I can't. So I always feel like I need to prove something to this intake nurse when really it's just like whatever I am dilated to is what is the ultimate factor. She's like, okay, you're at like a 5. So I'm in the intake room. It feels like forever. And then finally they're like, okay, let's move to the next room. They're like, do you want a wheelchair? No, I want to walk. I want to walk this baby out. I was like having a contraction while walking, and she's like, if you need to like stop for a second. I was like, okay, great, thank you. I waddle to the room, we get there, I'm like, where is my midwife? And so I asked the nurse, I was like, is my midwife here? And she's like, yeah. Can you have her come in here? Laying on the bed on my side with a peanut ball, just because that's what I did with my second, and I don't know, I just was trying to replicate that. She comes in, I'm like, I'm so glad to see you. So I'm like, can they fill up the tub? So they start filling up the tub. I don't want to lay down. So I'm walking around the room. I keep going to the toilet. And people call the toilet the dilation station. Probably. I don't want to be in labor very long. I just want to get this moving. I want to get this baby out. Like, that's kind of like my prep. I was like, you can do this, and you just have to like let your body do its thing and just let your cervix open. And bam, bam, you'll have your baby. This was my third unmedicated birth. If you want an unmedicated birth, I would highly recommend 2 things. Ina May's Guide to Childbirth, a book, and Hypnobabies. HEYSHAYLA Hypnobabies is the exact course that I take, like a labor course, and then the audio tracks to listen to during labor to help everything. Ina May's Guide to Childbirth talks about how one woman was like, I just want my cervix to open up, and then she literally felt her cervix open up. So I was like talking to my cervix, girl, let's do this. Let's get this baby out. So every time I would have a contraction, I would just imagine my cervix like opening up like a flower, a beautiful flower. I didn't lay down, which was unusual, because I was pacing around. I want to say panting, pacing around, waiting for the tub to get filled. So finally the tub is filled, and I'm like, pants off. I just have a bra on. I stick one leg in there, immediately take it out. It is way too hot. And then they get the little rubber ducky, and they're like, oh, it's 110 degrees. And they're like, you can't deliver your baby that. And I watched my tape from my second birth just to kind of mentally prepare myself for this one. And you can tell, I go from like noises to pushing. Well, after I saw my midwife, those noises started happening, the pushing noises. And I was like, no, I just need to get in the tub. I'm not going to tell anyone that I'm feeling pushy. I'm sure they can't hear my pushing noises. I didn't know this, but Seth went out into the hall and he's like, I think it's gonna happen soon because my noises changed. But I thought I was being discreet by not telling anyone. I tried to get in the tub, couldn't get in, and I'm standing at the edge of the tub just like frustrated, like, come on. And people are coming in constantly. And I told Seth, I was like, I feel like this is just chaotic. I feel like the door just keeps opening up. They came to take my blood. And I was just like, leave me alone. And I still have my earbud headphones in, just trying to like focus. Seth had to counter pressure me every single contraction with the other 2. This one just occasionally be like, Seth. So he's counter pressuring me. I'm sitting, leaning on the tub like this, and I'm just going, ugh. My water exploded out of the back of me. All over my wonderful husband. He was fast, and he said hardly any got on him, just a little on his ankles. And he's a shoe guy, so I immediately was like, did I get your shoes? And he was like, what? And I told my midwife right before that, I was like, the water for some reason feels safe to me. It feels like a little like cocoon. It feels like it's gonna hurt less. It just feels safe. I don't know how to describe it. Well, when I exploded my water all over my husband, my midwife goes, Shayla, I know you really want to wait for the water, but we're going to go get on the table. Okay. She didn't say, like, which position do you want to be in? But I immediately just went on the bed, hands and knees. That was it. I was hands and knees. My husband set up the camera. Thank you, Seth. The first thing I say is, I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
Hey.
You got this. You're a rock star.
This is what you do.
Okay. And you do it well.
Too easy. Breathe through it. Breathe.
I'm nervous because I've done this before. I know what it's like. I'm like, I don't know if it's worse to have your first pregnancy where you don't know what to expect, or like subsequent pregnancies where you do know what to expect. So I was like, I'm nervous. And that's what I needed to say just to release that. My midwife was like, you are a pro at this. And my husband just started pumping me up. He's always like, I'm going to be up by your head to like support you and be there. And I'm like, don't worry, Seth, I would be up by my head too. My first one I had to like purple push, where I was like pushing really hard. And then I learned like, no, your body will do most of the pushing. You're just like that final assist. I've said this in lots of videos, but it's like a poop. When you're sitting on the toilet, if you just go sit down sometimes, you could be sitting there for a long time. In fact, our husbands do this a lot. They don't strain out a poop. They wait for that assist. So you just got to wait for your body to get it mostly ready, and then you just go, and you push it out. And obviously it's not quite that easy with a baby because they're a little bit bigger, but I just did a couple of cysts, and literally he was born 5 minutes after my water broke all over my husband. So then the baby comes out, his cord is super short, so she's like trying to figure out how to assist me, and I just keep reassuring her, like, I feel great.
You feel strong enough to say like this?
Yeah, I feel great.
Good.
I feel great.
Good job. Hi, buddy.
You are, I can't, you're so amazing. Like, this is incredible. Are you kidding me?
Just tell me what you need me to do. I can do anything. I feel great. I'm rewatching this like, okay, Shayla, you feel awesome. Like, let's, great. I don't know if I asked if I pooped, but I was like, I can smell it. I for sure pooped. This is how I know I married the right man. My husband's response is, I don't know if you pooped or not, but they said that if you poop, that means you're pushing right, because that's how you need to push, and you will probably poop. Thanks, Seth. Like, when the baby came out, I didn't even like immediately reach for the baby. I was just trying to like regroup. I was just like, whoo, we just did that again. Like, holy buckets. It was, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to have a baby.
Maybe here.
Baby boy.
Here.
So then you have to deliver the placenta. They do like the massage on your belly, which feels absolutely terrible. Feels terrible. He came out with like a whole, like a lot of hair. And pretty curly when it's wet. I'm hoping it stays curly, but I don't know. So then she delivers the placenta, and then she's like, okay, I'm gonna give you a couple stitches. And then she's like, your bottom actually looks really good. And I was like, it doesn't. Like, I have some hemorrhoids. You don't have to say that. It was, oh, we're gonna fill our diaper here. Let me give you a little space. It was fast. He was born at 7:30 in the morning. So I started contractions at 2. We got to the hospital at 5:30. He was born at 7:30. And so normally after I deliver, I like look at Seth and I'm like, tell me everything. Because I'm in like la la land while I'm in labor. They call it labor land. That's where I was, labor land. But with this one, I felt like it was so chaotic. I wasn't able to like get in my jam. And it was so fast that there was like no little details that I probably missed while I was in La La Land. Like, I felt like I was pretty, I mean, I still was there, but like it was just so fast that there wasn't really many details. So like the only thing he really told me was that he went and told the nurses, like, she's gonna have this baby soon. So that's it. That's my labor. I'm gonna do a compilation video where I put together all 3 of my labor stories. I also might do one where I compare the 3. I don't know. Let me know if you want any of that, but now he's here. It took us literally until the hour before we left to name him. His name is Colford, which is a family name. It was Vaughn until an hour before we left. Even the nurses were like, Colford? And I was like, I almost cried about it. It was emotional. This one needs to be fed. I love a good birth story, so I hope you loved mine. Like I said, if you're interested in doing a unmedicated birth, the 3 things I would recommend are Ida May's Guide to Childbirth to read, Hypno Babies for a labor class, and the audio. It's just like, I kind of think of it as meditation, but it's hypnosis, which is different, which I don't really know the difference. And then Expecting and Empowered, which is a workout, a pregnancy and postpartum workout guide. Pregnancy prepares you for labor. The postpartum repairs you from labor. I literally started it in the hospital. And now I'm 4 weeks postpartum, and my workouts are just like rehab. And it takes me like 10 minutes to do, and then they recommend walking, so you do the walking, but it's so good for your body, I think. So if you're interested in that. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the story. Talk to you guys next time. Bye.